Hello friends, now we are going to continue with the morphology of the flowering plants. So coming to the morphology of the leaf and their modifications. What is a leaf? A dorsi-ventrally compressed lateral appendage of stem produced at the node and is specialized to perform the photosynthesis is nothing than the leaf. Coming to the characteristics of the leaf. So the leaf is a thin expanded green structure because it is the one which performs the photosynthesis. Because of that it is green in color. The green color of the leaf is due to the presence of chlorophyll pigment. It is exogenous in origin. It is borne on the stem at the node. An axillary bud is often present in the axil of each leaf. It has a limited growth and it does not possess the apical bud or a regular growing point. So this is the picture of the leaf which shows the apex, lamina, we have the veins and the center part we call center piece we call it as midrib, and we have the glands. And coming to the parts of typical leaves, leaf base or hypopodium. The part of the leaf attached to the stem or branch which we know it as leaf base. It may assume a different shapes in different plants. In some leguminous plants, the leaf blade may become swollen, which we call it as pulvinous. In monocots, the leaf base expands into a sheet covering the stem partially or completely. So this is the pulvinous, so which will be like a leaf blade and it's been swollen. So the leaf of some plants possess a pair of lateral outgrowths at the base on the either side of the axillary bud. These outgrowths which we call it as stipules, and such leaves which we call it as stipulate leaves, and the leaves without stipules we call it as exstipulate leaves, and the stipulates are usually green. The main function of the stipules are protect the bud and carry out the photosynthesis. So these are the pictures about stipules, and these are the sheets. Sheets are very long and stipules are very smaller in nature. So these are the sheets and these are stipules. And coming to the next, petiole or mesopodium. Petiole is the part of the leaf connecting the lamina with the base of the stem. The leaf that possess the petiole we call it as petiolate, and the leaves without the petiole we call it as non-petiolate or sessile leaf. So this is the petiole and this is non-petiolate leaf. So petiole is usually cylindrical, but many can be hollow, for example papaya, tubular or flattened. The functions of the petiole is to raise the lamina to expose it more to the light and air and helps in conduction. Coming to the next, lamina or epipodium. This is the largest and most important green and flattened part of the leaf. It plays a vital role in photosynthesis, gaseous exchange and transpiration. The leaf is known as dorsiventral when its ventral surface is structurally different from the dorsal surface. For example, dicotyledonous leaf. The leaf which has both similar surfaces we call it as isobilateral leaf. Such leaves are found in monocot plants. So this is the lower side of a broad leaf. So this part we call it as blade and this is the petiole, and we have the stipules, midrib, vein and smaller veins. So the veins which are coming from the smaller veins. Next, leaf venation. The arrangement of the veins and veinlets in the lamina, we know it as venation. So the veins are in fact conducting strands of lamina. So these are concerned with the conduction of water, mineral salts and are connected with and the food and to form a structural framework of the lamina. And we have the types of venation. This is reticulate venation and this is parallel venation. You can able to see this look like a net and this look like very parallel lines passing like a striations of the skeletal muscle. So it will be like this. And coming to the reticulate venation, when the veins and veinlets will form a network which we call it as reticulate venation. Here the midrib is centrally placed and the veins and veinlets remains distributed laterally. It is found in dicotyledonous plants. And next, on the basis of the number of the midlanes, we divide the leaf into unicostate and multicostate. So coming to the unicostate with a single midvein, for example mango. So the mango will have a single midvein, and multicostate with two or more prominent veins. For example, gingifus. It may be convergent or divergent. And parallel venation. In this type of venation, the veins in the lamina run almost parallel to one another. It is found common in monocotyledonous plants. It is the following. There are two types: unicostate and multicostate. Unicostate is banana, this is the banana leaf having only single midrib. Multicostate leaves are grass, rice, bamboo, etc. So this is about the rice plant. So which is having the multicostate venation, having the many major veins. And next, simple leaf and compound leaf. Simple leaf are those in which the single leaf blade or lamina is present. We call it as simple leaf. For example, mango, peepal, papaya, etc. Compound leaf. Compound leaves are those in which the leaf blade or lamina is divided into number of segments, which we call it as leaflets or pinnae. So the leaflets never bear the axillary bud in their axils. So this is the simple leaf and this is the compound leaf. Compound leaf. For example, pinnately compound leaf. In this type of leaflets are being present laterally on the common axis, which we call it as rachis. So this is the rachis. So which represent the midrib of the leaf. For example, gold mohur and cassia. There are 4 different types of pinnate compound leaves as unipinnate, bipinnate, tripinnate and decompound. Coming to the next, palmately compound leaf. All the leaves of the palmately compound leaves are attached at a common point at the tip of the petiole, that is like fingers of the palm. There are 5 types of palmately compound leaf as unifoliate, means presence of only one leaf at the petiole, bifoliate, unifoliate, bifoliate, trifoliate. If we have 4 leaves, we call it as quadrifoliate. If it is more than 4, we call it as multifoliate. Coming to the next, Philotaxi. The Philotaxi is the arrangement of the leaves on the stem and branches, which we call it as Philotaxi. And we have alternate Philotaxi. In this type, single leaf arises at each node. So the leaves arise laterally on the stem or the branches. For example, sunflower, mango, china rose, mustard, etc. Opposite Philotaxi. In this type, two leaves arranges from each node in an opposite direction. There are of 2 types, decussate and superposed. So coming to decussate. When one pair of leaves are placed at right angles next to the lower pair of leaves, it is said to be opposite decussate Philotaxi. For example, calotropis, ocimum, etc. Next, superposed. In this type, all the pairs of leaves of the stem are arranged one above the other. For example, jamun, guava, etc. Next, whorled or ventricillate Philotaxi. In this type, more than 2 leaves arranged from the each node and form a whole around it, like a petals and sepals arrangement. We call it as whorled arrangement. Next, modifications of the leaf. Leaf spines. In some xerophytic plants like Opentia, the entire leaf gets modified into a small stiff pointed structure, which we call it as spine, to check the transpiration. Sometimes only a part of the leaf, such as stipules, get modified into the spine to protect the plant from grazing animals. So for example, ziziphus and acacia. And next, leaf tendrils. In certain plants having a weak stem, the entire leaf or a part of leaf get modified into an elongated, thin, cylindrical, coiled, wiry, sensitive structure, which we know it as tendrils. These tendrils helps the plant to climb up and to provide some support. In a wild pea, Lathyrus, the entire leaf is a tendriller. In sweet pea, Pisum sativum, the terminal leaflets are tendriller. In Gloriosa, only the leaf apex modified into tendril, and in Smilax, stipules become tendriller. Next, leaf hooks. In Bagnonian Ugius cati, means nothing but cat nail, the terminal leaflets get modified into 3 stiff, curved and pointed hooks, which looks like a cat's nail. So they cling to the bark of the tree for support and help the plant for climbing. So Bignonia is an elegant hook climber. Next, Fileload. So coming to the Fileload, in some plants, petiole become flattened, green and leaf-like and perform the photosynthesis, which is known as Fileload. For example, in acacia, Auriculiformis, the normal leaf is bipinnately compound and falls off soon. So the petiole get modified into Fileload. This is xerophytic adaptations to reduce the transpiration. So this is the Fileload. So coming to the modifications of the leaves, we have the venation. So we have two types of venation. One is reticulate venation and other one is parallel venation. And again the reticulate venation is being divided into unicostate and multicostate. And the parallel venation is again divided into unicostate and multicostate. And we have two types of leaf, simple leaves and compound leaves. And compound leaves are again divided based on the pinnation. So pinnately and palmately. Next, Philotaxi, arrangement of the leaves. We have the alternate, opposite, whorled. So coming to the opposite, decussate and superposed. And next, modifications. We have the spine, tendril, hook, Fileload. Coming to the tendril, we have the whole leaf, terminal leaflet, apex and stipules. These are all the modifications of the leaves. I hope this will give you a nice information and descriptive about the leaf modification. So thank you very much. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel.